Brandon and Julia are expecting. 90-day fiancé, happily ever after. You ever get that feeling when something's too perfect? Like it's almost cinematic, but there's this tiny crack under the surface, just begging to shatter? That's exactly how fans felt when Brandon and Julia dropped the bomb. They're expecting. And not just expecting, glowing, crying, heartbeat on the screen kind of expecting. But here's the twist, fans aren't buying the fairy tale. Now don't get me wrong, the ultrasound clip is the kind of moment reality TV lives for. The doctor's voice soft, the heartbeat steady, Julia tearing up saying she's rushing not to cry, and Brandon, for once, actually speechless. It's the kind of scene that makes you forget every fight, every visa argument, every awkward parent moment on that Virginia farm. But the internet? The internet never forgets. Because while Julia's saying, "That's your baby," fans are saying, "Is it?" Not literally, of course, no one's questioning paternity, but emotionally. Because this baby announcement comes after months of rumors, distance, and fans claiming the two were on the verge of splitting up. One moment they're fighting over moving back to the farm, the next they're sharing sonograms like nothing happened. And that's what's got everyone spiraling. See, 90-Day Fiancé isn't just a show anymore, it's a psychological study in contradictions. Every love story hides a secret. Every smile, a confession. And Brandon and Julia? They've been walking that line since day one. I still remember when Brandon couldn't even tell his parents that Julia was sleeping in the same room. He looked like a teenager caught sneaking out past curfew. Now fast forward, he's going to be a dad. And Julia? She went from Russian city girl to farmhand to influencer mom-to-be. The transformation's wild, but maybe too wild. And here's where things get complicated. Right after the pregnancy reveal aired, sharp-eyed fans noticed something strange. The timeline doesn't quite add up. A few weeks before this episode was filmed, Julia had hinted online that she was starting a new chapter alone. Fans thought it meant she and Brandon had broken up. But now, she's suddenly glowing in an ultrasound room? The timing feels cinematic. And that's when the theories exploded. Some fans think the reveal was filmed after the fact, like production wanted to stage a fairy tale ending after months of quiet tension. Others believe this pregnancy might actually be the thing holding them together. Because let's be honest, nothing locks a chaotic relationship in place like a baby on the way. But here's the real forbidden knowledge, this isn't the first time Brandon and Julia have teased pregnancy. Remember that weird Instagram post from 2 years ago? The one where Julia said something big is coming and fans swore they saw a baby bottle emoji before she deleted it? Yeah. That wasn't a coincidence. Sources close to the couple said, but Brandon wasn't ready, mostly because of his parents' control over everything. And that's where this reveal hits differently. Because if Brandon and Julia are truly expecting, that means Brandon's about to face his biggest challenge yet, not fatherhood, but independence. Let's be honest, Brandon's family dynamic is infamous in the 90-Day universe. His mom, Betty, practically became a meme for her overprotectiveness. Farm rules, don't forget the chores, no sleeping in the same bed, it was funny, until it wasn't. So how do you think she'll handle this news? A grandchild might sound like a dream, but for Betty, it might mean the ultimate loss of control. Now, before I reveal the shocking part of this timeline, you know the drill. If you've been watching 90-Day Fiancé with me and screaming at your screen every time Brandon hesitates, hit that subscribe button right now. Because we're breaking down the truth TV doesn't want you to see. Alright, back to the madness. Here's where fans think the real twist lies. Some believe Julia didn't actually find out she was pregnant in that ultrasound scene, that she already knew, and this moment was filmed purely for cameras. Why? Because of one word, branding. Julie is building her own influencer identity, and nothing skyrockets engagement like a pregnancy reveal. The timing lines up suspiciously with her latest sponsorship deal and that emotional YouTube vlog that dropped days later. And look, I'm not saying it's staged. But you can't ignore how strategic everything looks. From the perfectly framed tears to the glowing caption about new beginnings, It almost feels curated. Like someone finally realized, if you can't win fans' hearts with drama, win them with emotion. But here's the dark irony, even while fans are celebrating, Brandon looks distant. Watch closely, he smiles, nods, says it's incredible, but his eyes? They're calculating. He's overwhelmed. And that's what makes this reveal so eerie. It's beautiful, yes. But it also feels like a reset button, a way to rewrite a messy relationship into something picture-perfect. And in reality TV, perfection is the biggest red flag of all. Because behind every ultrasound beat, there's another sound we don't hear: pressure. Pressure to stay together. Pressure to perform happiness. Pressure to make fans believe in a story that maybe, just maybe, isn't as seamless as it looks. But here's where things get wild. When fans zoomed in on the monitor during the scene, yes, people actually did this, some noticed that the ultrasound date stamp didn't match the reported filming timeline. Coincidence? Maybe. But the internet doesn't do coincidences. And if you've followed my past videos, you know this isn't the first time productions played with time. Remember when Yara's storyline was edited out of order? Or when Angela's shock moment turned out to be months-old footage? The 90-day editors are practically magicians when it comes to emotional manipulation. So the question is, did Brandon and Julia's reveal actually happen the way it was shown? Or was it a reconstruction, a moment meant to heal their image while giving the season a wholesome finale? Because if that's true, it's not just a baby reveal. It's a narrative reboot. And the secret nobody's talking about? Brandon and Julia's relationship might not have been stable when this was filmed. There are quiet whispers, allegedly, of course, that Julia had moved out temporarily right before the pregnancy news broke. If that's the case, then this ultrasound moment isn't just emotional. It's strategic. So what are we really seeing here? Two people in love building a family, or two TV veterans trying to rewrite history one heartbeat at a time? You know what's haunting about this whole reveal? It's not the ultrasound. It's the silence that followed. Because normally, when 90-day stars announce big life events, the internet explodes: interviews, photo shoots, family statements. But this time? Nothing. Just a carefully edited clip and a few emotional emojis. It's almost like someone wanted the moment to exist only inside the show, not in reality. And that's where the real secret hides. According to some behind-the-scenes chatter, Julia's been struggling with production pressure for months. The crew reportedly pushed for a more hopeful ending, after fans called the last season too dark and repetitive. So when she found out she was pregnant, it wasn't just personal. It became content. And that's what breaks your heart, doesn't it? Because you can feel how real her tears are, yet the world watching them sees a storyline. That's the forbidden knowledge of reality TV. Your most authentic moments only matter when they fit someone else's narrative. But if you listen closely, in that small, trembling laugh when Julia says, "I'm rushing, I can't cry," you can hear exhaustion. Relief and fear tangled together. She's not just crying for joy. She's crying because the entire world's about to watch her become something she's not sure she's ready to be. And Brandon? You can see the shift in him too. He's proud, yes, but it's mixed with guilt. Because for years, fans have accused him of being too dependent, too quiet, too controlled by his family. And now, fatherhood is his ultimate test. Can he finally stand on his own? Or will this baby just pull him deeper into the same cycle? Let's be honest, 90-Day Fiance thrives on those cycles. The tears, the reconciliations, the promises that fall apart 3 episodes later. But this one feels heavier. More final. Because no matter how this story unfolds, there's no going back from this chapter. Now, I want you to imagine this for a second. You're Julia. You fought for years to prove you're more than just the girl from Russia who didn't like the farm. You built a following, survived public judgment, and finally earned a sliver of control over your life. Then one morning, you're staring at 2 pink lines, and suddenly, your world belongs to everyone again. Would you tell the world right away? Or would you hold that secret close, terrified that the moment you share it, it stops being yours? Because that's the paradox of reality fame, the more personal the story, the less it belongs to you. And yet, Julia chose to share it. Some call it brave. Others call it calculated. But maybe, it's both. It's like what we've seen time and time again in 90-day history, a storyline born out of chaos somehow becomes the emotional glue of a season. It's almost poetic. Angela had her weight loss arc, Yara had her homesickness and family struggle. Now Julia has her motherhood transformation. And all of them come with the same hidden cost, vulnerability as currency. But what's fascinating is how the fandom is reacting.